Hello there, beautiful human. V from Movies Hunter here. I just came across another Korean drama romance film from 2014 called Obsessed. I must admit, you guys, Koreans are fucking the best when it comes to romantic films. Their way of storytelling impresses me every time, like, come on. The film opens in the year 1969, the golden number, in South Korea, where we see Colonel Kim Jin-pyong, a decorated war hero. His commander father-in-law throws a celebration party for Jin-pyong, as he is going to be promoted to general. One day, Captain Kyung Woo-jin is transferred to Jin-pyong's troop. His wife, Ga-yoon, is also going to live with him at the military residence. Woo-jin reveals that his wife is Chinese and that she and Jin-pyong share the same birthday. Jin-pyong too is married to this beautiful lady, Suk-jin. But Jin-pyong doesn't love her anymore as his affection for his wife subsided long ago. Moral of the story, never get married. Later that night, Jin-pyong goes for a walk and comes across Woo-jin's house. There, he meets Ga-yoon and is amazed by her beauty. Now one day, Jin-pyong goes to an event at an army hospital organized by the wives of commissioned officers. Ga-yoon also volunteers as she wants to help the patients. Suk-jin and Ga-yoon instantly become friends as they are the only wives in the residence who are childless. Just then, a patient suffering from PTSD attacks Ga-yoon and holds a knife against her neck. Jin-pyong tries talking to the patient, but the patient grabs his gun and because of the struggle, Ga-yoon gets shot. Later on, Jin-pyong goes to see Ga-yoon at the hospital and apologizes to her for getting her shot because of his carelessness. He then gives her the earring she lost when she was attacked. Since Ga-yoon is a fallen soldier, she asks Jin-pyong to put it on for her. Ga-yoon is also now developing feelings for Jin-pyong for risking his own life to save her. As days pass by, Jin-pyong keeps thinking about Ga-yoon and his feelings for her are getting stronger every day. One day, he and Suk-jin go on a picnic with Woo-jin and Ga-yoon. Woo-jin then goes to grab some more beer, while Suk-jin goes to the toilet. Now that Jin-pyong and Ga-yoon are alone, they start talking about each other's life. At a party, every man is mesmerized by Ga-yoon's beauty and can't take their eyes off her. Even the army chief is no exception, and he asks Ga-yoon if he can dance with her. Ji-pyong gets jealous of this, but he can't do anything but watch the chief dancing with her. Ga-yoon notices this and later goes to meet him in the bathroom. Jin-pyong then kisses Ga-yoon all of a sudden. Even though she doesn't stop him, she realizes that, "Oi, this is wrong," and she leaves. Later, the housewives gather at the salon where they talk about Ga-yoon. During the war, Ga-yoon's family fled to the mountains as they were suspected of collaborating with the Chinese army. Soon, her father fell ill. Scared, her mother left them and ran away. When her father died, Ga-yoon sat near him for almost a week before returning back to the town. She was then adopted by Woo-jin's mother and started working as a maid. Woo-jin's mother raised Ga-yoon as her own and later decided to get her married to Woo-jin. One night, Woo-jin and Ga-yoon go to have dinner at Jin-pyong's house. While Suk-jin and Woo-jin are distracted, Jin-pyong tells Ga-yoon, "I want to see you. Meet me on the next day outside the cathedral." Ga-yoon expresses that she can't stop thinking about him and likes being around him. Jin-pyong then kisses her and says that he too feels the same way. The two then end up getting romantic inside the jeep. Now one day, Woo-jin tells Ga-yoon that the US advisory group is coming to Seoul. Since Woo-jin is good at English, he will be their translator and guide. Because of this, he will be gone for a few days. It turns out that this was actually Jin-pyong's idea as he wanted to see more of Ga-yoon and wants to send Woo-jin away. But when Ga-yoon learns about this, she refuses to let him in as she realizes what they did was wrong and it should never happen again. Jin-pyong gets upset like a little child and can't stop thinking about Ga-yoon. After a very long time, he is feeling this much affection for someone. So he goes to meet Ga-yoon the following night. He expresses, "I can't sleep at night as I keep thinking about you and all the moments we spent together. I miss you." Ga-yoon feels bad for him and decides to let him in for dinner. She then expresses that she too wants her husband to be gone so that she can spend time with Jin-pyong. But she was just confused and afraid to continue the affair. Now that the two are officially in love, they get romantic again. One day, Ga-yoon reveals that when she was 13, Woo-jin once took her to the attic and began touching her. That's sick. She didn't feel anything at the time, but now that they are married, she doesn't like being touched by him. She says that she loves only one man in her life, and that man is Jin-pyong. But just then, Ga-yoon learns that her mother has fallen ill, so she rushes to the hospital with Jin-pyong to check on her mommy. There they meet Ga-yoon's mother-in-law, who sees them together and quickly realizes, "Oi, you guys are in love, huh?" So she tells Ga-yoon in private that there is nothing wrong to love someone and it's completely natural. She says, I am aware of my son's bad habits and I know that his wife is not happy in the marriage. The only reason she got Gayun married to Woojin was that she thought that Gayun can help her son become a better person. While returning home with Jinpyong, Gayun breaks down in tears. Even though her mom-in-law supports her, Gayun feels guilty for having an affair. She feels that she is not only cheating on her husband, but also on her mommy-in-law. So she decides to end her affair with Jinpyong and tells him, I won't see you anymore. Even though Jinpyong doesn't want to end the affair, he has no choice but to go along with her decision. But as days pass by, Jinpyong has a hard time getting over it. So he goes to meet one of his old friends and asks him for his help. He wants to frame Woojin for smuggling illegal weapons. That's a bit of a stretch, but okay. Because of this, Woojin is detained by the army. Woojin tells his mother and Gayun that he didn't do any illegal smuggling. He thinks that someone is trying to frame him for something that he didn't do. While leaving, Woojin's mother confronts Gayun and tells her that Woojin is telling the truth. She thinks that Jinpyong has something to do with this, so she tells Gayun to take care of this and get Woojin released immediately. So Gayun goes straight to meet Jinpyong and requests him to set Woojin free. After a couple of days, Jinpyong finally gets promoted to general. Sukjin is excited for the promotion and invites everyone to the celebration, including Gayun and Woojin. At the party, Sukjin also announces, I am pregnant, which shocks both Gayun and Jinpyong. Because of this announcement, Gayun begins giving Jinpyong the cold shoulder and tries to ignore him as she feels guilty for having an affair. Despite being so close to Gayun, Jinpyong is unable to do anything, so he keeps drinking and drinking and drinking to ease the pain he is feeling inside. He even decides to get Woojin promoted as well so that he and Gayun will accompany him to Seoul. But when he tells Gayun about this, she says, No, I don't want to see Jinpyong anymore, I don't want to see her. Jinpyong is heartbroken by this and shouts at Gayun for leaving him in front of everyone. Woojin tries to calm him down, but Jinpyong punches him. All the men then try to grab Jinpyong and try to calm him down. Sujin is horrified to discover that the husband she loves so much cheated on her. The news then spreads like wildfire and everyone starts talking about the affair. When Sukjin's father learns about this, he decides to send Jinpyong back to Vietnam for a year as punishment for humiliating his daughter. He also informs Jinpyong that Sukjin won't see him until he returns from Vietnam. Before leaving, Jinpyong goes to see Gayun one last time. He tells her, My love, I am willing to give up my army career for you. Leave him! But Gayun refuses, saying, I am not so in love with you that I am willing to give up my life for you. Jinpyong is devastated by her response and says that he can't live without her. So he shoots himself in an attempt to commit suicide. But he is quickly rushed to the hospital and his life is saved. 2 years later, in 1971, Gayun goes to attend an official party with her husband, who has now been promoted to major. A group of special unit men then approach Gayun and give her a Polaroid photograph of her and Jinpyong. Those men reveal that after being dishonorably discharged from the army, Jinpyong went to Vietnam where he got shot and died. In his dying moment, he reached out for this photo and took his final breath. He even tattooed Gayun's name on his arm. On the back of the photo, Jinpyong had written, My love. Gayun is devastated by this revelation and breaks down. Even though their affair was short-lived, Jinpyong genuinely loved her and never stopped loving her even after being rejected. Now Gayun can't do anything to change the past, but regret for the rest of her life for rejecting Jinpyong. And so, my loves, this was the story of Obsessed. See you in the next hunt.